Concerns about the legal implications of the proposed Indigenous voice to Parliament have been rejected by some prominent constitutional law experts. It came during the first committee hearing into the proposed wording. However, critics say they're worried about how far-reaching the impacts of the voice could be.
A traditional smoking ceremony for the Parliamentary Committee with a big task ahead. Today's first hearing beginning a process of scrutinising every word.
The substantive provision in the bill contains just 92 words, but these words matter.
The Liberal Party's characterisation of it as a Canberra voice was rejected outright by members of the government's Referendum working group.
People are throwing up the most extreme examples to try and scare the Australian people that this isn't actually quite a modest and conservative provision.
So too, suggestions the process had been rushed.
We didn't dream it up. This is your process over nearly 12 years.
Constitutional law experts were questioned about some of the more contentious aspects of the voice, its remit to make representations to the Parliament and the executive government.
The voice potentially may make almost any representation on almost any subject to almost any part of government.
I agree with Professor Craven that executive government should be removed.
And a new kind of advocacy for Indigenous Australians.
This is a very significant group right, the likes of which a Liberal Democratic Constitution has never seen.
This proposal is responding to history and entrenched disadvantage.
Freedom of speech.
A rare contribution from Robert French, former Chief Justice of the High Court.
There's a much better chance of informed policy making and indeed informed lawmaking when you have that kind of input.
The parliamentary inquiry will continue its hearings for another month or so and may then make recommendations for change. But the government is determined to have its legislation for this wording passed by June. Then the campaigning will really ramp up ahead of Australia's first referendum in more than 2 decades, where all Australians can express their voice. Dan Borscher, ABC News, Canberra.